What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Jennifer Rush, and we're returning to her sophomore album, Movin, 1985. Thank you again to Darren for sending the 5-album compilation. And the next track is Live Wire, which describes a wire which has an electric current. Sometimes it's used, I think, colloquially to mean a wire that has been cut or which is exposed in a way it's not supposed to be, and thus there's an electrical field around it which can be dangerous. People can electrocute themselves if they're not aware, but I think the more literal meaning is just a wire that has a live electric current running through it. So it's typically used in a metaphorical or figurative sense to refer to someone who's charged, someone who has a lot of electricity, so to speak, a lot of energy. They are active, they have an intensity that maybe other people don't, and in some cases I think it is a at least semi-critical description referring to someone who is perhaps volatile, someone who's a bit unpredictable, someone who can flash and fire up in a way that you might not be prepared for. So I wonder if it will be a more positive or negative description or comparison. I do expect it to be about a person. I suppose it could actually be about a wire with electrical current, but my expectation is that it would relate to a human and their attributes. Let's see what I can pick up on a first listen as Luca makes this incredibly difficult sitting down here. This is Jennifer Rush. The track is Live Wire, and it's the second tune on her 1985 second album, Movin. see, she's still doing some vocal flares and flourishes. I do wonder the appropriate nature or not of that fade out. I feel like it could have gone one more time around, and then maybe she would just be singing the chorus lines more standardly. But again, if she's doing some special intense flourishes or extensions, I feel like it's a bit dubious to fade there. Nevertheless, again, some 80s keyboard sounds. It just really resonates with the memories I have of mid-80s music. I do enjoy, there were a couple synths in there that felt almost like East Asian at the beginning and then near the end again. I did like that expansive, scope-suggesting soundscape that dominated parts of the track. In the middle, there was a moment where it really stood out, where it felt like the track was almost breathing and expanding. And yeah, as far as I can tell, she's saying the other person is a live wire, and she wants to make that connection, and she's willing to deal with perhaps a bit of unpredictability, but she's just saying that she recognizes the fire, the heat, the connection, the electricity, and like two wires that are put together, maybe with some sparks, maybe with some intensity that is hard to control, she still wants to put that together and to make love with them, to have a deep and loving connection. So yeah, it's a fiery song, one that speaks to a willingness to connect with someone come what may, and to, you know, see where the cards fall, so to speak. So yeah, a fiery and passionate tune. Maybe there's some layers in there that I'm not quite picking up, but that seemed to be the essence of it. And yeah, ultimately the aspects of the first album I think are still heard here. As the record goes along, I'll be keen to detect whether the sonic character is more or less in the same vein, or whether there's some different sounds and styles that creep in. I've said this in a number of deep dives, but a lot of groups that I now know a little better through these audio journeys that started in the early 80s, maybe even the late 70s, by the time you get to 85, 86, 87 especially, there's some more funk and soul sounds that start to come in, and a different character of synth work that tends to dominate relative to albums and songs from like 81 or 82. I know 84 to 85 is less of a transition and a gap, but as I said, as the record goes along, I'll be keen to continue to listen to the sonics and see if there's an appreciable difference in that regard. Her voice, powerful, expressive, especially at the end, which is part of why I don't understand why the fade happened quite that quickly. But yeah, she definitely has a powerful voice. She seems to save some of the biggest belts and vibrato or extensions for certain moments, whereas, you know, there's some other singers that I've heard that really just let it fly throughout the song. So yeah, I'd be curious to hear it again as we go along. I remember going through the first album, there were a couple comments to the effect of, you know, she, in the first couple of the songs here, yeah, she has some powerful moments, but wait till you hear this song where it's a bit more significant and a bit more full throughout the piece. So again, just something else that I'll keep hearing or keep my ear attuned to. In any case, thank you again to Darren for sending this. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.